Hey everybody, can you hear me? This is my first live stream, so I don't know if I'm doing everything just right or not, but we're gonna find out as we go. This is already the second or third time I had to delete it and redo it. So, we'll find out. All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Let's find out. The chat's not working up here, so I'm gonna keep looking at my phone as we go. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can bring up the chat on my phone so I can actually see what you guys are talking about. Let's find out. All right, everybody can hear me, and I have the chat now. It's good. Hey, everybody. It's John from WotUP. Welcome back to another live stream, I guess, my first live stream. It's going to be difficult for me to do this because I'm going to keep looking down here on my phone because the chat is not working on my computer for whatever reason. I don't know. A lot of different bugs with the first go about, I guess. Hi, everybody. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the channel. We'll chat a little bit about Wheel of Time. We'll take any questions you guys have. And I'll announce contest winner, too. I'll do that in a little bit, though. I won't do it right away. Henrik, it's midnight. That's it's 7 p.m. here. Where are you at, Henrik? Yeah, that's right, Glenn. I was talking to Glenn about this earlier, and it was... I had a lot of problems with the chat. Same as Lauren. Lauren helped me out a lot with this. Thanks so much, Lauren, for unraveling the pattern. If you guys haven't subbed to his channel yet, please go do that. He's fantastic. He helped me set most of this up this afternoon because I'm old and I can barely figure out my phone. So, yeah, Glenn, you should be welcoming everybody by name as soon as they come in. That's your job, right there. So I hope it's not too late where everybody's at. I know that for some people like Lawrence earlier in the afternoon, for some people like Henrik, or it looks like Damien, it's late night. For me, it's about 7 p.m. I scheduled it for now because it's kind of in the middle of where everyone's at, and it's not hopefully overlapping with any other live Wheel of Time stuff that's going on tonight. I know there usually is at least something live every night, and I'm not normally part of any of it unless I'm on the Dusty Wheel with the Innkeeper. I don't do my own normally, but since I hit 2,500 subscribers, I wanted to do a live stream just to talk to you guys. I go 3 p.m. in California. Yeah, it's a big time difference. I'm about as far east as you can possibly get. So without being in Europe, I'm almost as late as you can get in North America. Hey, it's Rick Hapasadai from Wheel Talk. Hey, how's it going? We had a lot of people in here tonight. So 24 people in the chat. That's more than I expected, especially for my first live stream. Do you guys want to start off by me announcing the contest winner? Is that something you guys want? Because I can definitely do that now, and then we'll just chat about Wheel of Time and channel for the rest of the time we're here. I know that's why most of you probably came. It's to find out who won the WotUP t-shirt and the WotUpper bottle. You don't mind me, I'm going to be drinking while we're doing this. And you're going to see a lot of my forehead because I have to read my phone because the chat isn't working for those of you who just joined. Hey, Dana Lou. How's it going? I didn't know you're from Texas. All right, so the contest winner is actually in chat right now, which is kind of cool. That it worked out really well. I did a random number generator thing for all of the comments for all of my videos in the month of May, and I just, when I got a person, if they were subscribers, they won. I think I had to pick 2 or 3 people in a row because the first couple weren't subscribers for whatever reason. I guess they didn't want the t-shirt that bad. But So Mihedski, congratulations! You're the contest winner for the WotUP T-shirt and the WotUP bottle. I'll have that shipped out to you probably sometime next week. I think I'm going to be mailing some things next Friday, so we'll get in contact and I'll try to get your address for me and whatnot. If you can DM me on Twitter, if you have Twitter. If not, I can send you my email or whatever, or just hop on Discord if you have that too. Talking about Star Wars, Andrew? No. So, Unraveling the Pattern had a question here in chat. What are my thoughts on Perrin possibly being married in the show? For those of you who are subscribed, it's... well, you probably already know my thoughts on that. Oh, the lag here is kind of difficult for me to work with. I'm going to see if Mihedski is still in chat and he heard me say he won. No, I don't see him there. Oh, there he is. Yay. You're welcome. So, yeah, just get in contact with me however you like, and I'll get the shipped out to you. So, back to the question. Perrin married. I don't like it. I understand why they might do that, but I don't particularly like it very much. So, why I don't like it is because it fundamentally changes a lot of things to do with Perrin. He's very inexperienced with women. He doesn't know a whole lot about anything. None of the three boys really are very experienced with women, and that's a common theme in the first few books. But having him have a wife before he leaves the Two Rivers changes a lot of different things. And you're going to have a whole lot of negative connotations with the Two Rivers and Emond's Field for Perrin when he comes back, and there's going to be a lot of sadness and stuff. So it fundamentally changes his character, but I could understand why they would do it if they're going to do it. Mainly because, it does give the viewers who have never read the book series before a chance to better connect with him and give him a reason for leaving. Because in the books, they all just leave because they're basically told to leave. And they all decide on their own that they're going to do that. It may be kind of a shaky premise for the show. It'd be good for one or two of them, but maybe not all three. So that's my thoughts on that, Lauren. Are we spoiler-free, Wheel Talk says? Well, no. No, we're not spoiler-free. But if I spoil anything that directly relates to the books, or we talk about that stuff, I'll talk about it first so people can dip out if they want to. How does that sound? Sound good? If it means no fail, am I all in favor of Perrin being married? Oh, see, I like fail. I know. There's a whole lot of fail hate. They don't like her because she's mean to Perrin. She's just a very assertive woman, and something that Perrin's not really used to. And people mainly don't like her because of the whole. There's one or two arcs in the books that are very sloggy. And this is a spoiler warning for later on in the series. So if you haven't read the series up to like book 5 and 6 or later, feel free to dip out, I guess. But as far as Fail, I liked Fail a whole lot. She has a lot of character traits I really, really do enjoy. And I can't wait to see her on screen. There's very few characters in the books that I despise, and she is not one of them. I really do like her quite a bit. Are we go for spoilers? Yes, Glenn. Glenn, we're good. We're go for spoilers. So for those of you, well, let's just say right now, we're going to spoil the entire 14-book series. So I'll give you guys 30 seconds or so, and then I'm going to tell you who dies in the last battle. How's that sound? Beth says she hates Fail. I understand why people don't like her because of how abrasive she is and how she goes on, but that's how she is. She's a very real character, and I enjoy reading her quite a bit. Unraveling Fail. No, that's not wrong. I say Fail because in my head for 30 years I said Fail. it is Fails. That's the correct way of saying it. So you're gonna see me, and I mean for those of you who watch my videos, you're gonna see me mispronounce a slew of things all the time, not just things from the books, but actual people's names and other things going on. And it's not because I can't say the right words. It's because I'm so used to saying something else, or I can't get it out. So if that's what happens. All right, so we have The Way of Leaf. Hey, John, do we have any idea how they're going to portray Loyal? No. They haven't really dove into how they're going to do it. There's been a lot of speculation how they're going to do it. Now, Hammond is an amazing actor. He's a stage actor, so I think he'll do a really good job of playing Loial. But I assume they're probably going to do some camera tricks like they did in Lord of the Rings with the Hobbits and Gandalf, and they're probably also going to do a lot of prosthetics. That's my guess, because Loial's too much of an up-close character for them to CG away the bits. Although they'll probably smooth it out or add some things with CG later on, is my guess. At WotUP, what are you going to do for your 3,000 subscriber special, which is probably a week away? Unraveling the pattern? Nothing. My next subscriber special is going to be at 5,000, and I already do have a contest in line for that, although it's not a contest where you folks get anything, it's a contest where I get something, and we'll leave it at that. But it'll be amusing for you folks when I get it. Have I listened to the series on Audible, Gracie P? Yes, I have. Only once. So I'm on my 46th reread, and I'm trying to match my 46th reread with the Wheel of Time on Prime's reread, which is really, really hard because it's a very slow pace, only a couple of chapters a week. But I did the Audible for my 44th reread, I believe, if I want to say that right, because I'm not a big fan of audiobooks. I never have been. I've only listened to a couple of them on audio, and I did like it. You hear a lot of the pronunciations, and they're different than what you expect in your head. Although Michael Kramer and Kate Reading did a phenomenal job, they did change the pronunciations a couple times here and there in the Audible version. So I'm not quite sure what's exactly correct or not. I mean, Matt the Innkeeper, he has all the Theoryland stuff with that. But I didn't like the Audible because it was too slow. It was hard for me to keep up with it because it was so slow. I can read one of the books in a 2-day span. I can read the entire series in a month. Ish. If I really do set myself to it. If I don't set myself to it and I'm kind of picking at it, it's usually a month and a half, 2 months. So that's why I didn't like the audiobooks, because I could listen to the audiobooks on the way to work or when I'm walking or doing chores or doing whatever around the house, but it was so slow. That's the only way to put that. Dana Lou will get to 5,000 pretty easily. I hope so. I mean, honestly, when I started out the channel, I did not expect to hit 1,000. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Oh, wait, Leaf, yay, you made the stream. Thank you so much. I wish I had counted how many times I reread LOL. I have no idea, but it's a very high number for sure. The only reason I kept track is because the book series was very, very special to me, especially when I was younger. I started reading it. The first year the IA World came out, I picked it up and I devoured it. And I must have reread that book over a dozen times that first year. And I was young. I think I was 9 at the time. I had not a great childhood, so I didn't have a good relationship with my father. There was a lot of, or my mother for that matter, and a lot of neglect and different things that went on there when I was younger. So the books kind of replaced my family, so they were an escape from the life I had, and all books were really, but The Wheel of Time really resonated with me because the characters were strong, they were well written, and I imagined them as my family. So I started keeping track because of that. Jennifer Wood, I'm not thrilled about Perrin being married. No, I'm not either, honestly. Have I read First Law? No, I have not, actually. I've read a lot of different things recently. I actually stopped reading The Wheel of Time between the 45th and 46th rereads, and I read the entire Old Man's War series, which I thoroughly loved. And I've read most of Brandon Sanderson's stuff recently, but I have not read First Law, no. So it's easier for me if you guys at me when you ask me a question, because I'm seeing it on my phone and not on the screen. It lets me see it easier. Like I see Lauren's added me a couple times there, so I can see his stuff. So it's pretty easy. So he at WotUP Tunes and Tales by. So Elitza asked, how did I decide to make the channel? Well, honestly, when I decided to make the channel, I wanted to do something on YouTube for a long time. I used to game quite heavily quite a few years ago now, and I did have a channel where I showed a lot of my gaming. It was never very popular, and I didn't do very well, but I loved The Wheel of Time a whole lot, and I kind of quit gaming almost completely, and I don't game almost at all anymore, and I didn't really have any hobbies at the time, I do write a little bit for fun. I enjoy writing, but I wanted something that I could kind of do. Like, mainly I make my videos and do my stuff when either the kids are in bed and my wife's at work and I'm kind of by myself and I have nothing else to do. That's generally when I make my videos. So I wanted something that was flexible, that I didn't have to do things at set times. I didn't have to do things whenever. And I thought, you know what, I'll try this YouTube thing. And I made my first video, and if any of you have seen my first few videos, they're really bad. Like, they're really terrible. And I almost didn't put it up, and I almost deleted everything right away because I watched it at the end and I was like, holy, like, I can't do this. This is scary. And I thought, you know what? I don't know any of these people anyway, so why not? And I did it, and I'm really, really happy I did put the first video up because there were a few of you, and I think a few of you are in the stream right now, that were there for the first video. And it was nothing but encouragement from everyone. Like, I was horrified, like, making my first videos, just like terrorized doing it. And I didn't think I would do it, but as I read the comments, or I got DMs on Twitter, or I got emails from people supporting me and saying, you know, you're doing a good job, keep it up, it'll only get better. I kept going, and as I went, there were more and more people. So really, I mean, the only reason I kept going was the positive people that kind of pushed me along at first. Oh, we got more questions here. All right, so Glenn the Geeky Hippie at WotUP. What other than Wheel of Time have I read? Well, fantasy series, anything by Ellie Modswit. So I've read most of that stuff. Discworld, love Discworld. Read those. Lord of the Rings, of course. Unfortunately, the Wizard's First Rule series, so Sword of Truth series, I read some of them and hate it. It's absolutely terrible. Anything sci-fi you can think of, especially most of the classics like Arthur C. Clarke and basically I'll read anything. I don't have a set number of books I like. I read a lot of Stephen King, Dean Koontz. When I write for fun, I write in the vein of horror. I don't even write in fantasy, although this just happens to be my favorite series. Thanks, Dana Lou. I'm glad you love my videos. Tamari, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. What games are your favorite, and what genre of game would you want for Wheel of Time? I'm an RPG nut. I like the old 2D RPGs like Final Fantasy III here in North America. It was my favorite game of all time. Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana. But I played World of Warcraft for a number of years. Unfortunately, quite heavily, and I actually was playing at a very high level. I won't quite say how high, but almost job level. And it took a lot away from my family and my work life and things like that for no monetary gain and not even any real life gain. So I kind of just unplugged one day and sold my gaming computer the next day, honestly. What kind of game would I like for Wheel of Time? Honestly, I'd like an RPG. I don't want an MMO. I don't think that would be a good idea for Wheel of Time. If they did it, I would try it. No doubt. But I want to see an old 8 or 16-bit RPG. Honestly, I'd be happy. Which character are you most open to new interpretation on the show? All of them. It's an adaptation. I've said it a number of times. They can change anything. I'm going to watch the show. I've been recently called an apologist, Wheel of Time apologist, in some of my comments. And yeah, sure. I have a very positive attitude when it comes to the show. And any changes they make, it's going to be for the better of a TV show because you can't port a book series word for word and have it work out well. What else we got here? Do you think the TV series will combine some of the Chosen to lesser the number of Chosen? By Andrew. No, I don't think they'll combine them, but I really do hope they flesh them out. One of the major criticisms I've had for Wheel of Time is a lot of the villains in it are very 2D. They're not very in-depth. There's not a lot to them. They're bad for the sake of being bad. They do get fleshed out later on in the series, don't get me wrong, but if they could do some of their backstories or their motivations for what they're doing and weave that in earlier, I would really love that. I mean, they could do 30 seasons of this and I'd still watch it. So as much more they want to add in the book series, I'm happy with that. Henrik, you make great and interesting videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I take a lot of suggestions from you folks, and I really enjoy doing this. Mallory talks, if you could be any character in the show, who would it be and why? Oh, that's a tough question. Random villager number 3 shoveling hay? I don't know. I'm not an actor. I do have a lot of people in my family that make their living as part of the entertainment industry, both people who are singers, musicians, and actors. And I've seen what they go through, and that is not the life for me at all. That would be very difficult for my family and me. But if I had to pick one character that I would play... Oh, it's a tough one. Bale Domain. I just love Bale. I really do love him. I would love to play him, honestly. And I kind of got a little bit of a beard going, so that might help some. I don't know. Jennifer Wood, at WotUP. I seen the at WotUP. I don't see a question. I don't know if I... Oh, here we go. Dana Luhu, how would you improve upon the relationships in the TV show? How would I improve upon the relationships? Well, in the book series, some of them were really good, like well written. Fail and Perrin, or Fail, sorry, and Perrin, very good relationship as far as I'm concerned. Very real to life, especially for the type of people they both are. But I didn't like Rand and Elaine at all, and didn't like Rand and Min. So if I had to improve upon a relationship in the show, they'd be Rand, Min, and Elaine, those 3. Because although I did like his relationship with Avondale, that was well written and really well done. Elaine was an afterthought, and she got pregnant. And Min was sort of, and I've said it before in the Dusty Wheel and other shows, I thought she was more of a plot device than a real character. So if they can somehow make those relationships or flesh them out, I know there was a lot of talk in the books where Robert Jordan would say, Rand and Elaine did this for the last 3 weeks in the Stone, or they did this, and it was just they're building their relationships, but we didn't read about it or see it, so it made it less real to me. I'd like to see that on the screen. You do be looking like him. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. What do I plan for the future of my channel? That's by Elitza. So for those of you who don't know, Tunes and Tales by Stellaria, I'm probably saying it wrong, I'm sorry, Elitza. She does the intro and outro music for my channel, and she does all the graphic design. So the slide you're seeing up here on the screen now, all the slides for all of my videos, everything I put up basically since the new design of the channel in January of this year is all her. She does all that for me, and she does it completely free. So she does have a channel right now. It's a music channel where a lot of her music goes up there, and her most recent video is actually the outro music we have called Story. It's up there with the sheet music. It's really fantastic. Go check her out. I do not like Rand and Min either. There we go. She's a lamp. She's a lamp. Yeah, 100%. She's a sexy lamp. That's how I see her. I see you and Mary are in the same Min boat. Yeah, we are. Min is, I liked Min as a character, but she could be a lot more, and I hope she is in the show. I really do. All right, what do we got? What else we got here? Which secondary lore character's death surprised you most? Which secondary lore character's death surprised me most? Inkar. And I'm going to say it. I did not expect him to go out the way he did. It was very awesome. It was an epic. I can't wait to see that on the show, honestly. But when he went out, I didn't expect him to go because I didn't expect him to be really a secondary character. I expected him to stay and do more things and become more of a plot device later on. But when he, sacrificed himself and did what he did, it blew me away. I liked it. Glenn, I'm full of crap about Min. Everybody has their own opinion, Glenn. Let's put it this way. I like Min, but she wasn't enough. I want her to be more. Is that fair enough? We'll say that. Oh, thanks, I appreciate that. I really do. That's nice to see. Dana Lou, Min is not a sexy lamp. I'm sorry, Dana. I wish she was more. Let's hope she gets a little bit more. MK, Rand and Min's relationship was the only one that made sense. I mean, it was different. It was weird because it was either too much or too little. I found. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Min did one of the most important things in the book. She gave Rand the hints he needed to seal the bore. Yes, there are a lot of pivotal points in the books where characters that I may not agree with or didn't like so much did things that were very integral to the end of the series. We can talk about Gowan if you guys want. Or you guys can watch my 35-minute video on how much I love him. Yeah, no, definitely Min was very essential and integral to what went on, because if she wasn't there, he probably would never have cleansed the taint or sealed the bore. WotUP wants Min to be a sexy chandelier. Haha. Min deserves better. And you know what? I hope she does. And you know who I see as my headcanon for Min? Alice from the Twilight series. Is that a little weird? That's who I see as playing her. I don't even know the actress's name. I'd have to look it up. But that's 100% who I see in my head as Min every time I read the series. Dean, that's terrible. Talk a little bit about the slide we have up here now. I haven't even mentioned it yet. October, I started the channel last year. We talked a little bit about why I started it and how. January, we had a new design. Basically, Alyssa reached out to me and she said that she thought I could do a little bit better with the way things looked, and she wanted to help out, and she did, and it was fantastic. February hit 1,000 subscribers. When I first started the channel, my end goal of everything was to hit 1,000 subscribers and just stop there. I mean, I would have been quite happy to hit 1,000 5 years from now. And then in May, so a couple of months later, I'm at 2,500. And now I'm actually closer to, I think I'm a little over 2,700 now. So it'll be, I'm growing far more than I expected to. Lauren asks a question here. What are your thoughts on the possibility of gender bending some of the characters and or changing some characters' sexuality? I'm fully open to it. So I don't see an issue with changing a character's gender or sexuality at all, so long as it serves the story for the show. So if I don't know, if they wanted to make Rand a girl, that probably wouldn't work out so well, because the whole point of him being the dragon was being a male channeler, so that wouldn't work. But as long as it serves the plot and the show and everything else, I'm fully okay with the changes they make that way. I mean, there are some adaptations that did things like that and they didn't go so well, but it was mostly because of shoddy writing or too much trying to cram it into one. So I'm fully open to it. I think it'll be... I think Rafe and the rest of the cast and the crew have this in good hands, and I'm very hopeful it'll be fantastic, and I believe it's going to be better than Game of Thrones, honestly. I've seen a couple of shows recently, actually, that I liked way better than Game of Thrones. C with Jason Momoa is one of them. That was absolutely amazing, phenomenal show. If you haven't seen it, it's on the Apple streaming service. But I think this has the ability to be way better than anything we have out there now. I will explode when the show comes out. We'll see. I already have a plan in place for each episode that comes out, so I'm really hoping to do it weekly. It'll be 3 videos per episode. So it'll be a review, that's spoiler-free, and then it'll be an in-depth video on the actual show itself, and then a kind of surprise video for each episode too. So, I mean, here's to hoping the channel gets really big when the show comes out. But if we stay with the same 2,700 people we have now, and you folks in chat, I'd be happy with that too, because I've made a lot of friends doing this, and I'm having a really good time, honestly. Dana Lou, do I have any plans to sell WotUP merchandise? No. So when I first started the channel, I basically asked myself, how far do I want to go with this, and what do I want to do? A lot of channels have Patreons. A lot of channels sell merchandise. A lot of channels do other things on the side, and it's okay for them if they want to do that. For myself, though, if I start selling things, if I start doing this to make money, it no longer becomes fun. It becomes a job. I already have a job, and this is my hobby, and I really do enjoy it. I am not adverse to doing charity drives. I'm not adverse to selling merchandise to support charity later on when I get big enough to sell some things. So if you guys want to be able to buy WotUP merchandise, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with selling it, but I don't want to profit from it. I would probably donate the profits to different charities every month if I was ever to do that. If there's enough demand for it, I'll certainly sell the merchandise because it's easy enough to do. It's a few clicks of a button, but I don't want to profit from it. If that makes any sense. Same as the Patreon. As soon as I start charging money for content, it means I have to put out content. It means I have to put out a certain level of content. If something's bad, I feel terrible because it doesn't meet up with people's expectations because they're paying me. And for those of you who don't know, month of May was Serge Weber Awareness Month, and I talked about it a lot in my videos because my daughter, second oldest daughter, Jasmine, has type 1 Serge Weber syndrome, and I'm donating all profits from the month of May from YouTube, which YouTube doesn't pay that well, to the Serge Weber Foundation. So I don't really profit off the channel now. All right. From Beth, how do you think they will make the ending of The Eye of the World less confusing? I never fully understood it until Nablus broke it down. That's a difficult question because I didn't really get what happened until a few rereads in. I mean, I was young when I first read it at first, and I just absorbed the book for what it was, and I didn't really think too much about it. When I get older and I was in my 5th, 6th, 7th reread, that's when I really started, thinking about things. How do I think they're going to make it less confusing? It's difficult. I don't know how they're going to do it. The only thing I can think of is instead of just draining the well and using the power and doing what he did in the fight, and I don't say too much in case people haven't read the end of the book, but instead of that, they'll have to have some sort of inner monologue, or maybe have Ishmael or someone there doing a voiceover or talking about what they're doing and kind of giving little hints or tidbits or explaining it. It's the only thing I can think of they could do. Empress Noel, you've just begun the channel to become a home for many folks who are driven by your absolute enthusiasm and knowledge. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I like it. I like not being negative about things, and I enjoy doing this. So here we go. Beth Roberts, donate the profits. Yeah, no, 100%. I'd love to, if I ever do merchandise, if you guys want it bad enough. I'm just giving it away now. But if you guys do want the merchandise bad enough, I 100% would donate the profits. Do you want to have a voice chat hangout after the live stream from Glenn? Sure. I have some time after the live stream. Depends on how late this goes. But 100% we'll have a voice chat and hang out and talk with you guys. From Andrew, do you think the TV serials will emphasize the Sanchen's use of slavery as much as the books did? Yes, they should. I mean, it's a dirty word. Slavery is not a good thing. It's not at all. But it was integral to hundreds of societies all throughout our history. And with the Sanchan, they built their entire society based on slavery. I mean, the channelers, female channelers, were basically vying for control and taking over Sanchan, and all kinds of bad things were happening until Arthur Hawkins came across and did what he did and kind of instituted the whole, enslaving the channelers movement that they had there. It makes the Sanchan people who they are. I'm not saying it's good, because it's absolutely horrible and abominable. And terrible thing, but to ignore it would ignore a very good chance to talk about something really terrible and bring awareness to other ideas, which I think they're going to do that a lot with the show. I think they'll bring something in and they'll try to make it relevant to things that are happening in today's society. I think Rafe has mentioned something of that nature, that he's going to try to update some things and have, so people can have honest conversations about really horrible things that are still happening in the world. I don't understand why the show would back away from difficult subjects. It isn't Disney. There you go. And even Disney tackles some difficult subjects, although they do censor some of the older stuff now. Damien, do you like how they did the inner voice in Battlestar Galactica? It could work for Rand. Yes, 100%. I think so. I think less, though. I mean, if you read the books, inner monologues is at least half the dialogue in the entire books. I mean, there's a lot of inner monologues from everybody. So if they toned it down some and showed a few more things, I think the way they did that would work out really well. Mallory talks. Did you feel a bit sidelined whiplashed by Shara's appearance in the last battle? You guys are not going to like me for this. Did I feel sidelined or backlashed? No, I was pumped. I was so excited. The only thing I didn't like about Shara showing up and Demandred and what he did and all the things there was we didn't see it. We didn't it wasn't in the books. I know it was kind of surprise, a big ta-da at the end when it came in. But I really hope in the show that they expand on that, because I read the short story that Brandon wrote about where Demandred acquired the Sire Grail, and phenomenal. I mean, I want to hear that whole story. I want to see him become the champion for the Dark One. I want to see the trials and tribulations. I want to love him as a character. I want to see all that. I want to see him unite the Sharons. I want to see all that. I don't care if they take 4 seasons to do it. I want to see it. I was super pumped about that. What else we got here? Would they cut the eye altogether? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. It was pretty important in the book series. Now, when you read it, it kind of, Eye of the World kind of reads like a standalone book a little bit, if you think about it that way. But I don't think they'll cut it. They may change a few things, but I definitely don't think they'll cut it. I think that Lews Therin should be on screen, but out of focus when Rand hears his voice. That's something I haven't thought about, honestly. That would be really good. They could see him sitting in a corner talking to Rand, or see, maybe not even out of focus, have him in the shot but no one else sees him, to show Rand kind of stepping into his sanity, or leading up to that. That'd be kind of neat. Who's your favorite Forsaken and why is it Grendel? Well, it's not her. My honest to God favorite is Demander. I loved him a whole lot. I was a big part of the whole Tame as Demander thing until that got changed. I loved that theory of it because I liked the idea of him and about him. But where he took the Sharons in, did what he did, I cemented him forever as the real Nameless. Do Lews Therin like they did Elvis in True Romance. That could work. I wonder if they're going to do water classes, because every water will be based on land or lawn, or however you say it. Maybe it's possible, but I mean, we already know from some of the actors that they've trained with a spear as a warder. So I don't think they're going to be cookie cutter, big burly guys with swords. I think you're going to see people with staffs, people with bows, people with spears. I think you'll see different things, not necessarily classes of warder. You're not going to see a bard as a warder or a rogue, but I think you'll see something like that. Beth Robinson. Robert Jordan mentioned the Sharons too often. I knew they were going to show up before the end. You know what, Beth? I had hoped they would show up, especially ever since I got the big white book of bad art, I guess is what a lot of people call it. But I was hopeful, but it just never happened and never happened and never happened. When it finally did, I was so excited. I was so happy. MK, who the hell is Sharon? Yeah, that works. Demander was cool for a while and they became Bao. See, I liked him as Bao. I mean, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed what he did. I just want to see more of it. I want to see him fleshed out, and I want to see the whole backstory. Unraveling the Pattern, what is your biggest hope for the show, and what is your biggest fear? My biggest hope for the show is that it holds the spirit of the books close. And I'm saying that very loosely. I expect a lot of changes, but I want it to have the same wonder and amazement for me when I watch the show as I did for reading the books, and it stays true to what the books are about. My biggest fear about the show is that it turns into Legend of the Seeker, that terrible Sword of Truth show. Now, I know it won't. My biggest fear, honestly, is that we'll get 3 or 4 seasons in and they'll cancel. That would crush me if we got The Shadow Rising or Lord of Chaos and they go, we're done. It's fine. That would be horrible. Would you be down with Liam Neeson as Lews Therin voiceover? Yes, 100%. That would be really cool. I think Liam Neeson... I love Liam Neeson's voice anyway. There's a few really iconic voices out there that would work, but yeah, 100% Liam Neeson would be amazing. At WotUP, how do you think they will do the Wolf Brother thing? That's a hard one, because there's a couple of different ways they could do it. I honestly think that you're going to see the wolves talking, not their mouths moving or anything. I think that Perrin is going to talk in his head, and you'll see the wolf talk. Not mouth moving, but he'll look at the wolf. They'll show the wolf, and you'll hear the dialogue. So you know Hopper's voice, you'll know whatever, and they'll cast people as voices. That's what I hope they do. I don't want to see like Call of the Wild or anything like that, where they have terrible CGI dogs and trying to make their mouths move. Or I don't think they'll do really well with the emulating pictures. So that's one way. The other way is you won't hear them talk at all. Perrin will just kind of explain what's going on based on what the wolves are telling him. So all those scenes will be from other characters' perspectives and not Perrin's. That's a really safe way of doing it, I think. James Earl Jones is Lews. Yeah, another really iconic voice would be really cool. Don't give him a rebreather, though. It'd be too... James Earl Jones is the all-caps voice at the end of The Eye of the World. That, you know what? Only appears a couple times in the books, but yes. Amazing. That'd be really cool. Charlize Theron for Luz Theron. Sure. We'll go with that. So 41 in chat. That's actually, you know what? You guys, thank you so much for coming here. This is far more than I expected to have for my very first live stream. How am I doing, by the way? I mean, I'm trying to read down here and look up here, so you're seeing a lot of my forehead. I'm looking down, but no, I'm trying my best here. Wheel Talk's talking to Dean Lou here. Yeah, when they're struggling over Saeedin in that moment, that'll be really hard unless they show the strands reaching out and them straining for it. Strands reach, like full strands of light going into each channel. That might work. Morgan Freeman is the creator? Sure. That's another really good one. And it was not okay. You know, like that would be amazing. Thanks, Trish. I appreciate it. So I got a question for you guys. Why don't you guys give me your favorite characters? What you guys think are the absolute favorite characters? I have that book signed by... I'm so jealous of people who have signed merchandise by Robert Jordan. Or any merchandise that he touched, really. I have nothing like that. I have an impeccable forehead. Well, it's more of a 5 head. It's pretty big, you know? Like, it's... Yeah, we'll have to get my computer to show the chat next time. That'd be, you know what? If it showed the chat, you would see more of this and maybe this instead of looking down because I have my phone here in front of me. I'm answering a lot of questions from chat. Well, that's why I'm here, right? Like I came here to interact with you guys and talk with you guys, so I'll answer all of your questions. I'll be here all night and answer questions if you want. I don't normally get involved in chats very much, but this is great. Favorite character is Talamines. Yes, you know what? He's amazing, and I really, really liked him as a character. You guys are going to hate me for this, but in my head, he's Matt Damon. Is that weird? I don't know. Morgan Freeman is the chosen one? Matrim Cawthron is the greatest character in all of fiction. That's a pretty bold statement, Glenn. It's amazing. And of the 3 boys, yes, he's my favorite, but I wouldn't say he's the greatest character in all of fiction. Moraine, a lot of people love Moraine. I love Moraine too. I want to have a beer with Matt and Brigitte. Yes, that would be a lot of fun. I personally don't drink very much, but I'd certainly smoke a bowl and sit down with them. That'd be amazing. Talamines is awesome. Well, Heddigan, really? I don't know. I wouldn't say the Spider's one of my favorites. I mean, she's a good character. She's very conniving, but I wouldn't say she's a favorite. I wouldn't pick her as a fan favorite either. Matt Damon works. I love his humor. Yeah, Matt Damon would be amazing. I think you would have a good time with it. I want to see some. Here's a question for you folks in chat. Why don't you guys tell me in chat who you want to see as a famous person to cameo? Not to play a role, but to play a very minor, just off the cuff cameo. Like, for example, Matt Damon playing the guy in the back of the truck in Deadpool 2. When Cable shows up. You don't even know it's him because he's got makeup and prosthetics and stuff on. But things like that. What would you guys like to see? Madigan is my top 5 Forsaken. Yeah, no, not mine either. She's near the bottom, right above Agenor. Lena Headey as Tamra. That would be cool. That would be pretty neat. I'm not going to lie about that. Sergio Sandoval worked on... do you think Sergio Sandoval worked on Shadowspawn creation? Yes. It didn't explicitly say it in anything I've ever read or been able to dig up or seen what Ari found, but his work just speaks about that, so I can't see why they wouldn't have him do something like that. Ed Sheeran, the popular one, or Sean Sean Bean, yeah. As someone who dies very quickly, I think that'd be funny. Ed Sheeran, I don't want to see him in the show. I mean, he showed up in Game of Thrones, I guess, but... President George Bush is the guy who gives Rand and Matt a ride to Camelin. Oh my god. Really? Okay. E. McClellan, that'd be amazing. Nicole Kidman, yes, that would work. I think she'd do really well. Justin Bieber, so Rand can punch him in the face. He's Canadian. I mean, I'm good for any Canadians to join the show. We only have one right now, so. At WotUP, are you worried about the Prime series will not spend enough time on the storyline? Robert Jordan spends a lot of time in description to get the books and can take a while to get to the climax. I'm not worried about that at all. We know that for a fact they're getting through the first book in the first season. That's probably not really even a debate at this point. But we don't know how far in the second book they're going, or if they're going into it at all. I don't think they're going to skimp in the storytelling. You got to understand, Robert Jordan, a lot of his work was descriptions. So he could take 3 chapters and describe a city square and the woman who's standing there in a dress. They can show that in 30 seconds in the shot. So I'm not too worried about them not showing enough of the story, no. Ryan Reynolds in the Band Under the Red Hand, that'd be amazing. You, Danny Green, Nate Bliss, and the like. Anthony, you know what? That'd be amazing. I think it would be really cool to see a lot of content creators or people that are important to the Wheel of Time community. I don't consider myself important to the Wheel of Time community at all. I'm still pretty small time. But people like that showing up in an inn as an innkeeper, sitting around a table dicing or just drinking somewhere in the background, or have a few of them like the people from the Holy Grail, help them being oppressed, kind of out in the fields. I think that stuff would be really neat. Henry Cavill's Morden, that would be amazing. Matt Hatch is Innkeeper Hatch, that has to happen. I don't know what kind of petition everybody's got to start, but Matt Hatch has to be Innkeeper Hatch. Has to be. I mean, it just 100% has to be, and the Dusty Wheel's got to be in the show. Billy Zane, so that's a good one, Litsa. So a lot of people don't like the Zane train. They get hate on Zane, but I really like Billy Zane. I'm a big B movie buff. I love B movies, and he's in a lot of really terrible stuff. But I love him so much. I would like to see Billy Zane involved in production in some way, shape, or form. I mean, he was in Winter Dragon, and as much as a lot of people dislike Winter Dragon, I still enjoyed it just for the sole reason it was my first experience of seeing anything Wheel of Time other than reading a book. And seeing Billy Zane kind of made me happy. Was it well done? Yeah, that's debatable. But I want to see him in the show 100%. Billy Zane for some guy who gets trapped in a sinking boat. She's my daughter. Take me with you. I blame Winter Dragon. Keanu Reeves. I mean, Keanu Reeves would be amazing as pretty much anything. I mean, he could just be some guy. Aw, thanks, Lauren. I'm important to you. You're important to me, buddy. I appreciate it. Daniel Green is Oliver. I mean, I hate saying it, but he looks young enough. I mean, I'm an old man. I could say that about him, right? He's young. Sasha Baron Cohen, Valan Luca. No, Mihetsky, I know you won the contest, but I'm going to disagree with you there. There's only one Valan Luca in my head, and that's Bruce Campbell. 100%. Billy Zane is Florin Gleb? Yes, that would work. 100%. The Phantom. I want a Wheel of Time deck building game. There was a card game, I want to say, I don't know how many years ago it was, and I had some of them. It wasn't very good. But it was something else like that would be cool. Now, something I will mention, Beth, is I was fortunate enough to play test a Wheel of Time board game, and it was phenomenal. Matt Hatch, the Innkeeper, I got him in on it too, and he helped play test it one time with me. It's made by a very prominent board game company, and I just got very lucky. I happened to talk to the owner of the company, and he happened to mention that it just worked out really well. It was all through Facebook, believe it or not. And the board game was amazing, and they were pitching it this month, and I haven't talked to him in a few weeks now, so I probably should send him a message and see what's going on with it, because he was okay with me talking about it, and he's going to allow me to feature it on the channel when it comes out, if it comes out, but I don't even know if the pitch was accepted. But it was pretty polished by the time I seen it, so you're going to see some really phenomenal Wheel of Time merchandise coming out at some point or another, if this is any indication at all. Glenn, you didn't have to sell me in Bruce Campbell. I mean, I'm going to let you guys all on a little secret. Bruce Campbell is my favorite actor, bar none, of anyone in the history of anything. I've watched everything he's been in a dozen times. Hey, Thomas, don't worry about being late. I'm still here. I'm still talking. I mean, I'll talk forever. Who could play Uno? Oh, that's something interesting. Now I'm going to be disappointed Bruce Campbell isn't Val and Luca. You know what? I've tagged Ray and Bruce in this a number of times on Twitter, and it's never gotten any traction. But if everyone does, maybe they'll cast him in something. I mean, Bruce is down to play pretty much anything, I think, at this point. They've almost got him back for a sequel to Ash vs. Evil Dead or another season. They're very close. Did I just say smoke a bowl? Yes, I'm Canadian. It's legal here, and I smoke a lot of weed. Sorry. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I don't drink, and that's what I like to do. Someone who looks like David Spade is Seth Bell. Yes, David Spade himself could do that. That'd be amazing. The Game of Thrones board game is really fun. Yes, I play a lot of tabletop board games here and there, and I did play that one a number of times, and I really did enjoy it. This one is something in a similar vein, only it's a little more complicated, believe it or not, and it takes about 4 hours to play one round, and it's a two-person game. Tatiana Maslany as Mahedigan. I don't know who that is, but I'll be looking that up. Was Bruce Campbell in Xena? Yes, he was. He 100% was in Xena. He also directed some of the episodes, believe it or not. I believe he directed the finale of the series. So yes, Bruce Campbell was in Xena. Autocles was his character. Unraveling the Pattern, Weed of Time. Yes, a little shout out to the Weed of Time. I will be on their podcast June 13th. So... hi, Maddie. That's my daughter in chat there. At Badger, I'm upsetting your channel because you don't know Bruce. So for those of you who don't know Bruce Campbell, go look him up before you make people angry. If you get any Two Rivers leaf, you better share. Sure. Here's the deal. If you guys are ever in the area, if you're ever in Nova Scotia, pop by and we can sit in my backyard and I'll barbecue for you and we'll smoke a bowl. How does that sound? That sounds good to me. Nathan Fillion as anyone? Yes. I'm still really upset about Firefly years and years later, so I'd like to see him in it. Tatiana was the star of Orphan Black, an Emmy winner for playing multiple clones. Oh, my wife watched Orphan Black. I did not, so I know who she is now, and yeah, I can see her as Mahedigan. That would work really well. Wait, Weed of Time is a thing? Yeah, the Weed of Time is a podcast, and it's hilarious, believe it or not. So if you haven't checked them out or not, they were featured in community section of my show a while ago now, and I generally retweet their stuff as long as any other podcasts and stuff I see. I try to retweet them and let other people see it. But yeah, look them up. They're really good. My first exposure to Bruce Campbell is his minor roles in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. Fun fact, Lauren, he's in almost all of Sam Raimi's movies in some way or another. Not all of them, but almost all of them. Bruce Campbell played a thief on Xena. Yeah, Autocles was his name. Very good. So, I have another question for you guys. When does everyone think this series is going to premiere? So, we were looking at next year for sure, before all this happened. And they still haven't filmed the first season 7 and 8 yet, as far as we know. When do you guys think they're going to come out with it? And what are you guys going to be doing for the first night? That's what I want to know. Like, when it comes on, if it's a weekly show and they come on one episode at a time, how are you going to watch it? Brown coats forever. Tom Hardy as Uno? Yeah, no, that would 100% work. I like Tom Hardy in anything, really. September-ish 2021, November 2021, May 2021. Thomas May was my original guess before all of this happened, before they kind of shut down production and stuff. I think I'm going to agree with probably Lauren and Andrew. September, November next year is when I think we're going to see it. And I think it'll be weekly. I don't think they'll release it all at once. April, March. Watching it as soon as it drops, yep. Hiding in my room and watching it and praying I do not lose power. Ooh. Hopefully you don't lose power. Think we can reasonably get it out fall of 2021? Yeah, no, 100%. Mihitsky getting high and repeat watching the first episode. Binge if necessary, but I hope it will be weekly. Yeah, I hope it's weekly as well. Mainly because if it comes out all at once, I'm going to be indisposed for like 2 days. I'll be wrecked by the end of it. I probably won't enjoy it near as much as I should have. Because yes, I do binge watch shows. It's a lot of fun to do that. But if it's something I really enjoy, like I think I watched The Good Place, which I really loved. That was a really good show. In I think we did it in a week, all of it. It was a whole lot. Full dump of the show or week by week? Yeah, 100% week by week. Because I can actually sit, find time. My wife has said she'll watch it with me. Depending upon the level of sexuality and horror and whatnot in the series, some or all of my kids will watch it as well, and we can all sit down and enjoy it as a family that way. When do we think we will get a preview? I was going to say Comic-Con this year. I don't think it's going to happen now, though. I would say that we will probably see our first teasers this fall or early next year. That's my guess. When do I think they'll restart shooting? Well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Carnival Row, and a number of other productions that we're shooting in Prague are shooting July-ish now. A few of the actors have gone on record to say they don't know when they're coming back. That may be because they're just told not to say anything. But I think, honestly, you'll probably see them return to work this fall. I think they're going to wait it out over the summer. You might see it in September. James Spader's anyone. All right, so we're nearing an hour mark here, and I said I would do this for about an hour or so. Do you guys have any other questions for me at all, Wheel of Time related, or about anything else? Really, I'm here for you guys. Whatever you want to talk about, and then I'm going to join voice chat afterwards in Discord if you guys want to join me there, and we'll chat a bit more. And you're still seeing my forehead. And violence, of course. Yes, Lauren, of course, the violence. It just depends on the level of it. I mean, I think Rafe and Sarah have gone on record saying their children will watch it, or children could watch it. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be... It depends. Every family's a little bit different with what they think. So far, I haven't seen anyone head back to Prague. No, they haven't gone yet, but they're saying that they're going to resume shooting in July. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Do I have a 2-on video? No, but that is on the list because she is, believe it or not, one of my favorite characters, barring all the terribleness of the Sanchan. How many more episodes do they need to shoot? 2. They need to shoot 7 and 8, as far as I'm aware, for the first season. Canadian, yeah. Thanks so much. Amanda comics and manga. If so, I can recommend a series called Berserk. I've seen it, and yeah, it's not bad. It's graphic. Family friendly, do might as wells. Nah, I honestly think they're going to push for a more mature rating, and they're going to try to rival Game of Thrones. I think that way. I think there'll be a lot of sex and nudity because there is in the books, whether you really see it or not or subscribed, and I think you'll see a lot of violence and a lot of horror because, I mean, I've said it before, I think the whole series could go full-on horror. Sam Raimi can come in and direct 14 or 15 seasons of this and turn it into one big bloodfest. Easily. Will there be lots of spanking on the TV show? Yeah, I think they're going to show that. I can't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it was a big part of the books. I don't think they're going to show it the way you think, though. I don't think it'll be sexualized. Am I going to do more live chats? I'm doing great. You know what? I was really nervous about doing this because I'm not very good at this. I didn't think anyway. But if you guys want me to do some more live streams, 100%, I will do them. I'm having fun. I thought it was good time. Maybe not like all the time. That's more the innkeeper's, his domain. But once in a while, this is fun. Once every month or a couple months, I have a good time doing this. Because they said children could watch doesn't mean they should watch it. So here's the thing. Every family, every person has a different inkling or knowledge or what are we going to say, a different way of interpreting what is correct and what is right for their children to watch. I have friends who let their children watch things that I would never let them watch. And my kids watch things that other people I know would never let them watch. So it's a very gray, wide area of things. And different cultures also think certain things are acceptable. So what's acceptable up here in Canada may be different in the US or in the UK or in Japan. Or we don't know, really. So what else we got here? A Matt and 2-on spinoff where Matt changes to Sean Chan. Yes. I mean, this, as far as spin-offs go, there's so many of them they could do, but I think a lot of people were very unhappy with how the series ended for Matt because we don't know what happens afterwards. There's a lot of loose ends to tie up, and there's a whole lot more story to tell, and I really hope that once they finish the series or even get partway through, they can start doing spin-offs, which would be really nice. Thanks, Anthony. I really appreciate it. I guess we're gonna end it here. We will, I'll reconvene. I'll be in Discord in a little bit, guys, if you guys want to join me there. All right. Thank you all so much for stopping by and chatting with me today. A whole lot of fun. Congratulations, Mihetsky. We'll get some information on how I can ship out your prizes to you, and here's to many more.